¿Se lo quito? Bueno, seguimos, ¿eh? Seguimos. Vamos, ¿eh? ¿Tenemos que hablar con todo de vuelta? ¿En serio? A veces el juego
Oh,
se
it's you
pasa, ¿eh?
two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning. But I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down, and there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah. I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Renwell,
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live, and I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and
Yo
the
te digo,
world ending,
a veces cansa
if I
el
can
tema de
be
los
honest with
diálogos.
you guys, it's just all too much for me to
Siempre lo
handle
digo.
right now.
El tema de
I know this is going
vos
to
puedes
sound
explicar una
strange
idea,
coming from me,
un sentimiento,
but
puedes
maybe
explicarlo
the key
en
is not to worry
10
too much
segundos.
about the big stuff right now.
Al principio el juego arrancó bárbaro.
I used to
Sí,
worry
o
all the
sea,
time
y
about
lo
my
dije.
thorns, for
Videos
obvious
cortos,
reasons, but I never really opened up to
rápido, dos
anyone about
palabras,
them.
lo explico.
And when
Esto
I
se
realized
llama,
my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me,
esto se llama alargar el
I
juego.
didn't know what I should do or who to tell.
Y cuando hacen esto ya
But that's
la
when I
cagan.
finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis, or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why...
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
Y aparte todos los
You know,
diálogos rondan de lo
You're
mismo, ¿eh?
right. People
Lo
can hurt
mismo.
one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Xion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dan is still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world, and it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Xion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Xion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Xion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Xion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Xion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our minds are made up. Let's go give Hevric 35 our answer.
Todo lo que pueda saltear lo voy a saltear, ¿eh? Basta de
Do you have
diálogos.
your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body. and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renus Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renus Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy the great astral spirit and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Wait. Naori said that the Renus Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renus Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renus Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renus Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegus.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Havrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all. Fix our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man, is it too
Bueno.
much to ask for
Vamos,
Heaven
vamos,
35
vamos.
to talk like a normal person? I swear I can feel my brain starting to fry after listening to all that complicated stuff.
A veces es mejor que el juego te vaya tirando las respuestas de a poco, que no tengas tanto tiempo de diálogos al final. Yo creo que
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
tiene que
You're
haber un
worried about the
equilibrio.
future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Van a hablar todos, ¿eh? Y van a
Well,
repetir lo mismo.
if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before. About whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were thinking?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Are you sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Heverick 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up. Did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the fall nights.
No sé qué decir. Te juro, llega un momento que se me anula el cerebro. Se me anula el cerebro. O sea, mandame la información de a poco durante los 50 primeras horas del juego. 40.
It would
Y no,
appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what
y
that
el
means.
final
Time to
es un
go to
poco más
Rena.
tranquilo. O
I
sea,
guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
como 3 horas de video creo que hay. Entre el capítulo anterior y este. Yo creo que es el estilo japonés. Tiene que ser el estilo japonés. Ubisoft no hace esto. Capcom no hace esto. Bethesda no hace esto. Blizzard no hace esto. Muy de la onda japonés, ¿no? Ir 50 horas de video.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Lo voy a grabar igual.
So this is... Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
Hay 3 teleport acá, ¿no? A ver, vamos por el primero. No se puede. Este no se puede. Hay un diálogo, con R1, pero no lo voy a apretar. No lo voy a apretar, basta. Basta de diálogos. Vayamos a los bifes, loco.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Uy, 53.
I knew there was something off
What
here.
the
Not
fuck?
pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Estoy cagado, Bueno, vamos a ver si lo...
You wanna play? Then come at me!
I'll smash you!
I owe you one. Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing
I try harder!
Why is it human? To stop you dying?
Do it! Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
Will this help?
Now! Here I take this! Burn!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you.
Stardust! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
My turn! I'm not small! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Uy, qué bueno.
Alvin,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
¿Qué onda?
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. You got there.
Destruction! That bucket is driving me mad.
Here, let's go.
It got fired.
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
Take this.
All yours. Destruction!
Make it rain.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
Get it!
Yeah. Nice technique. Radiant, look here. Now.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
My
Reinforcements.
turn! No escape! Stardust! No escape!
Hurricane Strike.
You're mine! Run!
This one's mine.
Here I come! We turn the tables more, Sucrose?
Keep calm and
Not
take them
today.
down.
You're mine!
Make it rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alvin.
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you. Already.
Severing wind!
Going in. Will this help? Dance in the wind. This one's mine.
You're mine!
Make it rain.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone.
No escape! No escape!
This one's mine.
Stardust!
Make it rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! My turn! Not a
Uy,
Reinforcements incoming. Not a problem.
la abejita, loco, la abejita.
Stardust! This one's all mine! Stardust!
This one's mine.
No further!
On guard.
You picked the wrong fight! It's on! More?
Time to show.
You're mine!
Hang fight. In your dreams.
Severing wind! Here I come! No escape! Stardust!
Vamos, vamos. Combo, combo.
In an instant! Impact block! More? We did it! This one's all mine!
This one's Do it. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished! More?
Here's the evil.
No escape! Stardust!
Ah, siguen saliendo. Imagino que es hasta que lleguemos, ¿no?
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! More?
Here's evil. Air thrust. Freeze laser. Hurricane Strike. Ready and raring. This one's mine. Let the marksman handle this. Now. Astral energy.
Say no more! Shut!
Well done.
You're mine!
Make it rain. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Illuminate.
My turn! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Do it.
River!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
I think I'm getting stronger.
Como estuvo el agite, loco,
I
¿eh?
think Hoodle's hungry.
Funny. I could have sworn.
Pero una grabadita. Nivel 46.
And that was your stomach making all the rest.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures.
¿Será que cuando terminemos el juego podremos volver acá?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they...
¿A dónde mierda tengo que ir?
be Zoogles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're
No quiero pelear
dangerous.
con todos.
Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, then if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if
Me suena que sea
we
acá, ¿eh?
jump down instead.
You sound alarmingly serious when you say that.
Seguramente están hechos para aliviar, para... Pero la verdad quiero ir rápido.
Guess I misread the landing.
A ver...
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given that...
¡Ay!
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Ignite!
Power of water!
Now, let me.
Power of flame! On guard! Ready! I never miss! Going in!
Try harder! Not again! I'm not done!
Ready to go!
Make it way! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Here's the
Not
healing
again!
arc! Fall into the
Okay! Stardust!
Hurricane!
I owe you one.
Make it rain! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I know fine weapon material when
Que
I see
vengan.
it.
Espera, quiero ver algo. A ver, venimos bien.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way! The design of...
Bote sagrado.
This equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
We're in for a long slog with this one. Flag assault! Denied!
Crush the flame inside me! Yours! It can hide itself? Amazing! Eat dirt! Here I come!
Lo que no le ves es el punto débil.
Now you see what I can do!
It looks like you got this job.
Can't get out of this!
Flaming meteor! Flame of fury! Raging storm! Hurricane
Destruction!
Malevolent!
Destruction!
Waterfall!
Look sharp!
Here I come!
I'll heal you all!
Crush!
Piercing
Total
roar!
devastation!
Photon blast!
Destruction!
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Not today!
That'll bring you down. This one's mine.
In a bind?
Laser field.
Destruction!
Pierce the evil! This one! Photon blast!
Charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Mega ray!
Ah!
Annihilation! Hurricane steel force! Going in! Supernova!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacial spear.
Pierce evil! Not in your dreams!
You're mine! No escape! Destruction!
Aw, too shy to come over.
Flame inside me! Yours to be let free!
Flaming meteor.
Destruction!
Need to pull myself together.
Thanks, Fiona.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
In a bind?
Take this!
Now you've gone and ticked me off. On guard.
I'm not done!
Warn up.
Crush!
Here I go.
Destruction! Try harder!
Look sharp.
Now you see what I can do!
I never miss!
Hurricane strike. Let's give it a whirl. How about this?
I don't feel so hard.
You should sit this one out then.
And miss all the fun. No way.
Why'd you hear me? Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Well, looky here!
Por fin, por fin. Vamos, 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 vamos. Estoy acá. Ah, ok, al final. Corre, 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 corre. Vamos, 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 vamos. Rápido, rápido. Ok. A ver cómo andamos. Me tengo fe, ¿eh? tengo fe. Me van a pegar una garchada. Si sigo adelantando tanto el juego, me van a pegar una violada.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Stardust! Burn in hell! Stardust!
Tengo que hacer los combos rápido, porque con los especiales los liquidás.
Consider yourself finished!
Listo, vamos. Next.
I got it.
Got what?
I can chop up vegetable scraps and use them in the seasonings.
Should've known that's what it was gonna be about.
Uy, mira qué lindo que es ese, loco. Nivel 53. Ah, 50.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I can carve through armor!
I'm ready.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Here, let me help.
Look sharp! Eternal devastation! It's time! Destruction! It's on! Not today! Eternal devastation! Eternal devastation! Try harder!
Uy,
Going in. Denied.
Prepare to be seen! No further! Destruction!
Going in.
Not today! Here I come! I'm not done!
Going in.
Stardust! Here I come!
Going in.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
You! Got it! I'll leave it to you! Now or never! Destruction! Can't get out of this! Destruction!
Hold on. Here I come.
Ah! Severing wind! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Dance in the wind. By the power of flame. Vanish without a trace.
Piercing roar.
You picked the wrong fight!
Healing is what my arts do best.
Do it. All my do is cut.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Looks like it could be worth something.
¿A dónde tengo que ir ahora? Uy. Seguramente tengo que venir por acá. Igual, ¿no? Lo mismo. Ahora voy a pegarle una vueltita acá. Igual bien, me estoy bancando niveles 53, loco.
Looks like
Este es de la chica... ¿No?
some solid equipment.
Hola. Ahora me cago. De a poco te va dando equipo, ¿no? La coraza rara.
Equipment should come in handy.
A ver, objetos. Vamos a usar algo. Creo que así está muy bien.
Brace yourself. This one's tough. Far enough. Now I can.
Este se mueve, ¿eh? Quédale, quédale.
Now we're never. You picked the wrong fight. Here I come. Destruction.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the militia!
Here I come.
This one's mine!
Take this.
Hurricane Flash!
Can't get out of this.
Going in!
Shattering of pieces! Attack!
This one's
Now you
mine!
see what I can do!
Not on my watch!
You're mine.
Here's the evil!
Try harder.
Going in! Supernova!
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Breaking storm!
Going in!
It's time!
Burn in hell.
This one's mine!
Vamos a quedarle, quedarle. Me encantaría que siempre aparezca la cantidad de vida que tienen los bichos.
Can't get out of this.
Let them march! Here's the hurricane foot! Lightning to death! Thunder flaming meteor! Illuminate the night!
All mine!
Lunar flare!
Now you see what I can do!
So weak!
Quit pushing yourself and get behind us.
I'll be right as rain in no time! Going in!
Internal devastation.
Water! Here I go! Here it goes! Glacial steel! Mind if I do? Evil!
Prepare to be seen.
I'm gone!
Lightning raging cascade!
Eat dirt.
This one's mine!
I'm gone! Air crush!
Ready to go!
Internal devastation.
Far enough!
Amazing!
I'm not done.
This one!
Flag assault!
Radiant!
Flaming meteor!
I'm all
No escape.
Mega red more time!
This one's mine!
Armor won't save you!
Photon
Totally. In an instant. Impact clock.
I feel stronger.
A ver,
I mean,
Bien.
a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
bien acompañado este, ¿eh? Uy. Le voy a dar a los chicos, a los de rojo.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
This one's mine! Guardian Field! Alright,
Everybody in.
Here's the healing arc. Careful. It has some kind of firefly.
Can't get out of this.
Hurricane Fist!
Into the shadow! By the power! There you go! Don't let up!
You picked the wrong
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Una.
Well done! Dance in the wind! Healing circle! Stay! I'll be saving this one! Here I go! They spread! Right here! I got you! Here goes!
Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
Ahora sí.
Raging cascade!
Ocupo más grandote ahora.
Denied! Heard by the power of water! Mega ray!
Hay que tener cuidado con los PC.
Shield and face!
The flame inside me.
You're
You're to be let free.
Down! You're on! This one's mine!
Raging cascade!
Eternal devastation.
By the power of water!
This one's mine!
Destruction.
Annihilate!
Frozen red! That'll bring you down!
Ay, se transportó
How
justo.
about this?
Steel! Up and out!
Switch to offense!
Be the hero! First aid! Dance in the wind! Leave it out!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop
Uy.
it!
Now,
How do you like being pounded into shape?
I'll smash you.
Raging meteor!
Water!
Take this.
Piercing roar!
I can do this! I just have to get it together!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare demolisher! Keep going!
Dale, queda poco, ¿eh?
Mind if I do?
You picked the wrong fight.
Back into the
Here I
fray!
come.
This one's
Gale
mine!
Force! Reload! Purge Malevolent! Arctic Waterfall!
Destruction.
Far enough!
Freeze Lancer! Power of water!
Going in!
Arc requires complete
My
focus!
turn.
Here, let me help! First aid!
Try harder.
Don't get in my way!
Going in! Pierce evil left!
Eternal devastation.
This one's mine!
This one's mine! In here!
Try harder.
Here's a healing
Pieces! Their arcs were interrupted! I'm ready
The
to go!
flame inside me yearns to be let free. Easter.
Now!
Gustó. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
I'm pretty worn out.
Want to rest up for a bit?
Vamos, toca jefe, Lo que vamos a hacer es... Vamos.
What do you think this place was for?
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danan, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
Uy, mira lo que es
What is
eso.
that thing?
No sé.
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Mira lo que es eso, loco.
Be careful.
Oh,
It's huge.
mira la carita, la carita. 55. Vamos, 10 niveles arriba.
With all the huge lumbering beasts lately.
No ordinary suit. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to
Ole,
this
guacho.
thing. I'm not done.
Lunar blast! Glacial fire! Annihilation! Sweet mouth denied! More for the stop time! Ready! Mega ray! Tiger blade! Hurricane strike! Lightning orb!
Its head is its weak point.
Salta, salta, salta.
To bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
Eat dirt.
Lunar corruption!
167k,
Here, let me help.
Searing flame! Reload! Shiny arrow!
If it's in the sky,
Take
mine!
Amazing.
I never miss! Sleep now! Hurricane strike! More for the stop time! Radiant look here!
This one's mine.
Shiny hurricane strike! Annihilation!
Vamos, 145k. Es que me gusta que esté el numerito de vida.
Come forth, holy glory!
Their arcs were interrupted.
Y como vengo zafando. Che, Ringwell está...
Severing wind.
Ready and ready.
Lunar blast!
Going in.
Burn in hell.
Will this help?
Keep up the
I'm
pressure.
not done.
Lightning orb!
Stardust.
Healing
Lightning meteor. Denied.
coming through!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't. It's over.
Annihilation!
You're mine.
Glacial
I'm
force!
not done.
Celestial banner!
Destruction.
Puddle! Searing flame! Reload!
It's time.
Lunar corruption!
Through its gate.
On guard.
Raging cascade!
Here I come. Flame inside me. Yours.
El salta ahora.
On guard.
Severing wind.
This one's mine. Bring you down. Plenty left.
In a bind.
There you go!
You
Don't let
picked the
up!
wrong fight.
Radiant flow here!
Take this.
A banana! Lunar corruption! We
Now see what I can do.
Annihilate! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more.
¿Cómo estamos, papá?
By the power of hurricane strike! Without a trace!
Severing wind.
Me hago la mitad, me van.
Hurricane strike! Explosion! Can't be here!
88k, vamos,
Burning strike! Water! Hear my call! Switch power! Hold on to your heart! Here I come! Meteor! Light astral energy! Radiant!
Uy, 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 uy.
Hurricane strike! Out of ammo!
Do you require a hand?
Illuminate the dark!
Now you're getting serious?
Holy land! Don't mind if I do!
How about this?
Burn.
My head's spinning just watching you.
Take this.
Here goes!
Flaming meteor!
I can carve through armor.
Light astral lightning!
You're mine.
Thunderblade!
You're finished.
Illuminate the
Yes,
dark!
him.
Magic is am! Holy land!
Down! You're off!
Power of flame! Vanish without
Wind.
a hurricane strike!
Stardust.
Raging cascade! An outstanding explosion! On!
A ver. ¿Quién era que está peor?
Lightning again! Here goes! Raging storm!
Y... Yo estoy mal también.
Thanks so much!
Tratando de que... Vamos a darle quizá también.
Guess I had to use it sometime.
Severing wind. Stardust. It's gonna attack.
Right, watch out!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free.
It looks like you got into the shadows!
Cae,
I can carve through armor.
53,
In a bind.
51.
Out of ammo! Confiscated!
I don't feel like my usual self.
¡Uy! Ahí hay algo que me estaba haciendo pelota. Hay algo Bella vital, cordial, medicina valiosa que se extiende en un área y restaura miel a todos los aliados.
Are you alright?
¡Ay, me mató!
So sorry to disappoint you.
Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
No, dale, boludo. Ok, queda poquito. 45k.
Look sharp beyond the darkest skies. I call upon thee. Radiant is mine. Here, hurricane fire.
Hay uno.
Now you see what I can do.
Lunar corruption. Go ahead. The marksman handle this. Go ahead. I'm almost in death.
Hot praise coming from you.
I said
Vamos,
almost.
caete.
Don't get carried away. Where are you going? Here I come. Hurricane fire. Outstanding form.
Take this.
Lunar corruption.
I'm not done.
Piercing roar. Light astral energy. This one's mine. This one's mine. Radiant flood here. Flaming meteor. Ready. Back into the flame. Arts require complete focus. Time to shine. Not on my watch. Light the enemy is going all out. Healing
Severing
power.
wind. Prepare to be seared. Burning hell.
I owe you, Theon. Healing is what my arts do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
No further.
Here's evil. Do it now.
Kisara, Commander of Heaven. Phoenix Cyclone.
Había un ataque, que te bajaba bastante. Pero si empezás a acumular combos, la
What was
verdad.
that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalim's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
¿Qué onda? ¿Será que está cerrado el...?
Look, everything's upside down.
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleport...
No, que venía acá. Y lo mismo,
They reversed our orientation then.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
Vamos.
This is crazy.
Vamos.
Who knew so-
Duda astral. Como estamos peleando de vuelta con todo lo mismo, ¿no?
You made me angry. That was a bad idea.
Y me pegó,
Sleep now. I never miss.
Going in. I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Shattering pieces! Take this! It's on!
I'll be saving this one!
Not today! Start up!
Confiscated!
Leave the torches to me! Far enough! My head's spinning just watching you! I'm gone! I need to pull
Can't get
myself
out of
together.
this.
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Got it! Start by holding the front line. Now's our chance!
Going in!
Try harder!
Lightning blast! Hear me! Eliminate the dark!
Glacial Tiger Blade!
Holy land!
I'm not done!
Freeze blaster!
I'm gone!
Destruction! Shattering the pieces!
Harsh malevolence!
Easter!
Going in!
Dale, que la estás comiendo toda.
Flaming meteor!
Destruction!
Now or never.
Explosion! Radiant storm! If it's in the sky, it's mine! Thunderblast! Illuminate the dark! Explode the power! Holy land! Switch off!
In a bind?
Hurricane foot!
Going in!
Radiant!
Not feeling so hot.
Take it easy! Don't hurt yourself!
Sorry, didn't mean to make you worry.
Far enough!
Anything in order is all mine. This one's mine.
Not in your dreams!
Start up!
Here comes!
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Banana!
You one back.
It's over! It's time!
This one's mine.
Can't get out of this!
Freeze Lancer! Heal dance! Hurricane foot!
Destruction!
Illuminate the dark! Holy glimmer! Holy land! Illuminate the dark! Holy land!
Win!
Make it rain.
More! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
We can really make weapons with this? What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renasalma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
Puta madre. Puta madre.
But we have no choice.
Let me know
Yeah.
if you need healing.
Piercing roll!
Freeze Lancer!
Now you see what I can do!
Concentration! Mega Ray! Illuminate the dark! If it's in the sky, it's mine! Dance in the wind! I'll bring you down!
Destruction!
It's time!
Get on you there with Fire Flame!
I'm ready. Hurricane far enough.
Burn in hell!
More with that
Destruction!
Hurricane Fury!
Destruction!
Raging Cascade!
I'm gone. My head's spinning just watching you.
Destruction!
Dance in the wind! Freeze Lancer here!
Destruction!
I'll be saving this one! Can't be hold on to your arms! Here I come!
So tired.
All that running around is catching up with you.
No, I don't think that's it.
Try harder!
I'm ready to go.
More for the stop.
Keep charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it!
Switch to
I'll leave it to you! You picked the wrong fight!
Illuminate the dark. Flame of fury.
No further!
Holy wrath.
Destruction!
If it's in the sky, it's mine. Tiger blade. Freeze blade. That'll bring you down.
Take this!
Take this.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Healing circle. I'll pick you up. The wind. Hurricane strike. Photon flow.
Take this! Destruction!
This one's mine.
Try harder!
By the hurricane strike. Arch field.
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Try harder!
Raging
Here I come! You picked the wrong fight!
Dance in the wind.
Take
Air
this!
thrust. Photon flash.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa! Hurricane strike! Let's keep up the
In a
pressure!
vine?
No escape!
Raging cascade. Back into the fray.
Going in!
Do it. Hurricane strike.
Vamos.
Phoenix Cyclone! That firepower of yours is really something.
Por acá, ¿no? Sí.
I could say the same.
Seguramente tiene un montón de lugares para ir por ahí. Pero no. Vamos a avanzar porque... no terminamos más. ¿Y el ascensor dónde está? Ah, acá. Espera, acá voy a pelear seguro, ¿no?
This won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist. Mega ray! Is that statue-wielding art? Now I've seen everything.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
You want me? Come get me!
Lunar corruption! Lunar flash! Unlock!
The enemy wields art too.
Now we'll soon see about that.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Did it!
Yeah! Nice technique!
I'm not done!
Photon dance in the wind! Healing field!
Start us!
And just like that, I'm back in it! Start...
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Raging cascade! Go! Sleep now!
Do it!
Hold on to your arm. This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! More Sukos?
Keep calm and take them down! I can do this all day!
Severing wind!
Now!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Reinforcements incoming!
Not a problem!
You're mine! I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
That one's mine! Sleep now! Into the shadows!
Destruction!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more! Shut!
More
Not a
incoming.
chance!
By the power of flame!
Wind!
Sleep now! Hurricane strike! More for the stockpile!
Far enough!
Confiscated!
Here I come!
Explosion! Healing! Jumping at him, let's go! There you go! Don't let up! Do it!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Get in the wind! Air thrust! Photon! Illuminate the sun! Come forth, holy glimmer! Primed and ready! Now! Glacial!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Reinforcements! Arctic waterfall! First aid! Will bring you down! Going in! In here! Now! Look sharp! Astral energy!
Say no more! More? Here I come!
Hurricane strike!
Severing wind!
This one's mine! Recover! On guard! Not in your dreams!
I can carve through
Make it rain! Don't leave! Blow them away! Not more!
Radiant strike! Here!
It's over! Stardust!
Dance now!
¿Cómo estamos, con los combos? Igual el juego,
Going in!
la última parte del juego no, la verdad no me está gustando. No me gustó la última parte, creo que
Think we overdid it?
me tiró un poco para atrás el tema de los diálogos. Demasiados diálogos.
Far enough! Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! Not more!
Stardust! Air thrust! Time to shine! This one's mine! Flush now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! Not a chance!
Illuminate the sun!
This one's
It's
mine!
over!
Holy glimmer!
Stardust!
Now!
All yours, Kisara!
Dance in the wind!
Ya uno, ¿no?
This one's mine!
Look sharp!
Photon
Shattering
blast!
the pieces!
All right. I think I'm getting stronger.
A ver. ¿Dónde tengo que ir? ¿Tendré que ir acá? Ah, no, no era ahí. No era acá, no era acá, no era acá. ¿Cómo caen los frames? ¿Qué onda? Toda una parte de relleno, Toda una parte de relleno.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here, huh?
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna... Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted. Like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although, admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, Is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Xion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
¿Terminaste de hablar la concha de tu hermana? ¿Dónde mierda tengo que ir ahora? A ver. ¡Ole! ¡Ay, el dragoncito, loco! No lo puedo zafar. No, tengo que pelear sí o sí con el dragón.
This one's tough. Eat
Here I go. Freeze land tiger blade. I'll shoot them out of the sky. Not in your dreams. Let's keep up the pressure.
I'll smash you!
Lunar Craven, ready to go. Gemini Aqua, far enough. Dance in the wind. Hurricane fire thrust. Gravitas field. In here. Mega
Take
ray.
this!
Going in. Get on in there with the others.
No escape.
Switch to offense. That'll bring you down. Hurricane strike now.
I'm not done.
Gone.
This one's all mine.
The waters of magic.
Stardust. Eat dirt.
Look sharp. Healing circle.
I owe you one. Thanks, Xion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Water.
be
Hear
better.
my call.
Vamos, le rompí el sello.
Now's our chance. One more.
Destruction.
Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
The enemy wields art too.
We'll soon see about that.
Win.
Raging cascade.
Can't get out of
Hurricane flash. Hold on to your heart. Here I come. Going in.
Severing wind. Stardust.
Air thrust. Hurricane illuminate this one.
Destruction.
Shield and make. Hurricane
Destruction.
This one's mine. By the power of water.
Destruction.
Nothing gets by me.
Burn.
Here, this world.
Take this.
Dance in the wind. Air thrust. Look sharp.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Illuminate the dome.
Try harder.
Come forth, holy glimmer.
This
Holy
one's
land.
mine.
Let the marksman handle this. Hurricane strike. Illuminate the dark.
Far enough.
Come forth, holy glimmer.
Destruction.
Time to shine. I never miss. Holy land.
Try harder.
Sighted. One more.
I can carve through
One
armor.
more. Searing flame. Reload. This one's mine. Glacial
Take
spear.
this.
Pierce anvil.
Piercing roar.
Here comes. Freeze lancer. Prison.
Destruction.
Celestial.
Not today. Now, while it's reeling.
Hold on to your arms.
Destruction.
Here I
Don't
come.
leave. In an instant. Impact claw. This could be useful.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here.
Yo tengo que ir a ver
I
al
couldn't cook
final,
any
¿no?
of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
Así puedo zafar este. Oh, ya son dos. Puedo seguir derecho, ¿no? Seguro para aliviar está re bueno. Uy. Bueno, no me queda otra que pelear acá, Y ahí no me queda otra. La subida de nivel está bueno. Pero la verdad no tengo una subida de nivel.
Anything in armor is all mine. Hear me, flame of fury! Burning! Glacial spear! Here's evil! Supernova! Free energy!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
There are just as well. I'm here to stop.
Lunar Denied!
All mine. Take this. Burn.
Lunar Blast! Chinese Supernova! This one's mine! First aid! Still! You're on! Celestial Hammer! Plenty left! I said! Let the marksman handle Celestial Hammer! Hurricane!
Here I come.
Here, let me
I'm
help!
not done.
Here goes! This one's mine! Raging Hurricane! Don't mind if I do! Going in!
Take this!
Outstanding form!
I'll smash you!
The flame inside is yours to be let free.
Glacial Spear!
Here I
Here's
come.
evil! Freeze Lancer!
Destruction.
Here goes!
Crush.
Hurricane
Severing
Storm!
Wind.
Lunar Corruption! Going in! Celestial Hammer! Ice Prison! Here, let me help! This one's mine!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Lightning Condemned! By the power of water! Going in! Hear me! Flame of Fury! Burning! Holy Land!
Denied!
Going in! Target blade!
Hold nothing back.
Light aspiration!
Try harder.
Healing
Wind.
circle!
All right.
Severing wind.
Glacial Spear!
Coming through. Ha! Now. Scarlet Inferno.
Here's a
Try
healing
harder.
arc! Here goes!
I'll smash you!
First aid! Slice! Going in! Eat dirt!
Start up.
Lightning orb! This one's mine! Raging Cascade!
Burn in hell.
Here!
You're
Here!
mine.
This one's mine. My head's spinning just watching you.
Chinese Supernova! Hurricane! Don't mind if I do! Blah, blah, blah! Burning
Here.
Now! This ends now!
Hoy me queda otro. Otro gordito me queda.
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside
You
you!
picked the wrong fight.
Ready to go! Raging Storm!
Severing wind.
By the power of water!
Severing wind.
Take this! Hurricane Storm! Trusted waterfall!
No further!
Hurricane Flood! In here!
I'll smash you!
This one's explosion!
You're mine.
Here's a healing arm! Raging Storm! One at a time!
Appreciate the help. Glacier fall! And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done.
Magic is there! Meteor! Hurricane flight!
Take this! This one's mine! Take this! That'll bring you down. How about this?
Not on my watch!
Let's keep up the pressure! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Shining super malevolent! Arctic waterfall!
Damn it!
Mataron a Gion. Le quedó uno de vida.
Seal, ready to go! I'll be saving this one! Reload!
You're mine!
Lunar corruption!
No further!
Whoa, hey! Lunar fly! Back into the fray!
Ignite!
This works! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Vamos.
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I feel sprightlier than before.
Bueno, a ver. Sí, por las dudas. Ah. Ah. No te la puedo creer. No te la puedo
Got
creer.
a really bad feeling about this.
Try harder! Come one, come all!
Appreciate the help.
Take this! Stardust!
Lunar corruption!
You're mine! I'm not done! Prepare to be seized! Severing wind!
That'll bring you down.
This way! Astral energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done!
Here I come!
Downfall!
Severing wind!
By the power of
This one's all mine!
Raging
Eat this!
cascade!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Uy, qué bueno. Un daño de área esa. Maté todo de una.
Could have been worse.
Bien, bien. No, y este no sabe. Este no sabe. Hijo de puta, Dale, loco.
This one's tough!
Es necesario.
You're mine! Now I can let loose!
Hurricane storming! Don't mind if I do! Waters, hear my
Take
call!
this! Try harder! It's go time!
Thunderfield!
Flaming meteor!
Destruction!
You made me aim. Fall back, Alphen. We'll take point here.
Sorry to impose on you like this. The flame inside me is yours to be let free!
Here comes!
Look sharp.
Up and at 'em! Let's go!
Burn!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Hurricane strike! Raging!
Take this!
Lunar blast!
Switch to offense.
Mega ray! Generate officer! Dance in the wind! In here! Hurricane
Prepare to be seized!
Hurricane strike!
No further! Eternal devastation!
Healing circle!
Appreciate the help.
This one's mine!
That'll bring you down.
Hurricane
Here I come!
spray!
I'm not done!
Lightning condense!
Try harder!
Reload! Illuminate the dark! Magic is there!
Far enough.
Here I come!
How about this?
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! The flame inside me, yours to be let free! Burn in hell!
Tiger blade! Hurricane strike! Shining Raging cascade!
I need to pull myself together. This one's mine.
Dance in the wind!
Flaming
Don't mind if I
meteor.
do! Reload!
Can't get out of this! An astral art?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
This one's mine.
Arctic waterfall! Sealed! Get out there with you! Far beyond the darkest skies! Celestial spear. Piercing evil. Hurricane strike. Going in. Wind astral. Jump forward. Steering fire. Illuminate the dark. I never miss. Dance in the
Shattering
wind.
pieces.
Attack time. Far enough.
No escape. Ignite.
Lightning condemn.
You make me angry. That was a bad
Hold
idea.
on much longer.
Here I come.
Armor magic is
Save you.
there.
Take this.
Appreciate the
Gustó!
help.
Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
So those thorns of Shion's, they're really a part of Rena's great spirit?
Most likely. But only a small fragment of it in the big picture. I don't sense a will of its own.
Lo voy a grabar. No sé qué me espera después. Si me llega a ser un jefe, ojalá que tenga para recuperar los puntos de salud y de combate.
From
Pues.
them.
Pero bueno, no importa. Vamos. A seguir. Rápido.
If it's
Rápido.
that
Speedrun.
is there that much point getting rid of it?
Paqueto. Y todo esto. ¿Qué me tengo que enfrentar a 6 jefes? 6 jefes me tengo que...
Think we could take that one?
¿En serio? No encontrar, no encontraron otra manera de rellenar el juego. Pero bueno, nada, le voy a seguir a que lo quiero terminar. Arrancó muy bien el juego. Muy bien. Pero el juego ya tendría que haber terminado. Me mandaron mucho relleno. Bueno, tiene 127k, así que no. Veamos qué pasa.
No further.
How do you like being pounded into shape?
Will this help? I'll be saving this one. That'll bring you down.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa!
Take it.
You're mine.
It's go time! I can carve through
Piercing roar!
You picked the wrong fight.
Vamos. 10k, 100k le quedan. 99, 98, 97. 96.
Can't get out of this.
Art expert, coming through. I'll heal you all. Confiscated. The power of light. They're not playing around.
94.
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back. This one's mine. Look sorry. Come on.
Yo Ringwell.
Hurricane strike.
This one's mine.
Armor won't save you!
Try harder.
You require
Vamos, 89, 89.
This one's mine.
All mine.
Here's evil. You picked the wrong fight. Far enough. Let's get you off this way.
Take this!
Flaming meteor.
Destruction!
Let the marksman handle this. The water's magic is there. This one's mine.
No le puedo romper las patas, loco.
Let me help. Take this. First aid. Without you,
What I can do!
It looks like you got this one. Take it down. Now.
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
Will this help? Destruction! Hold on to your arc. Here I come. Right up the door. Don't mind if I do.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Dance in the wind. I got you. Damn it. Out of it. I'm all stuck on. Hurt by the power of flame. In here. I'll be saving this
So
one.
now you're getting serious?
This one's mine. Try harder. Hurricane foot.
You're mine!
Going in.
Try harder!
Shattering the pieces!
Attack time! You're finished!
Going in.
Here's the evil.
Try harder!
Freeze blade. Going in. Here's the healing arc. I can't hold on much longer.
No escape!
Time to shine.
Do you require a hand?
Radiant.
Try harder!
Illuminate the dark.
Here,
I'll heal you
be
all.
let free! Easter!
Where are you going?
No escape! Destruction!
Vamos, 42, 41.
Shield. And just like that, I'm back in it.
Start by holding the front line.
No sooner said than done.
Destruction!
Look sharp.
Take that! Now you see what I can do!
Going in.
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Take this! I'm not done! It's on!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare demolition! Guess I had to use it sometime.
Burn it out! Try harder!
Go get it!
You're mine! No escape! Try harder!
Blah, 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 magic!
You're mine!
Speak now. Here's the evil.
Here
Get
I
on
come!
in there with the others. Freeze laser!
Here I come!
Take that!
You require a hand.
My head's spinning just watching you.
Try harder!
Razor cyclone! I never miss!
You're mine! Ah!
Here. Let me help.
That should do it!
Water won't save you! Razor, not on my watch!
Destruction!
Power of water!
Crush!
Raging storm! Here Here's the healing arc!
Stay away from my friends!
Appreciate the help.
Here I come!
I'll bring you back from death to this!
Ay, escapé justo. Ringwell murió.
It looks like we made a mess.
It's on!
Let me at it.
You picked the wrong fight! Try harder!
Now where will here goes?
Hurricane strike by the
Here I come!
Oh, ya quedan, se caen.
Try harder! My turn! Destruction!
Glacial punch!
Severing wind! You may be strong. Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
How about
Now you see what I can do! Now or never.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
In a bind! Destruction!
Illuminate the dark! This one's mine! Got it! Now's our chance! Hurricane strike! This one's mine! Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Bueno, que tengo que pelear contra 6 jefes.
We've got rid of this.
Nah.
Looks like I won after all.
Except it doesn't look like that thing's hit.
A ver.
Yeah, not by a long shot.
This one's mine.
In here. Sighted.
This one's mine.
You're mine.
Look sharp.
Here's sealed. Not in your dreams.
Not today.
Raging storm. All right, it's showtime.
This one's mine.
Wind after energy. Let's sleep now.
Hear my call.
Spread. Holy
You're mine. Try harder.
It's showtime. Dance in the wind.
Sleep far enough.
By the power of this one. Finish without a hurricane.
Vamos, 100k, 97. Dale, dale, adelante.
Banana, let's go.
Severing wind. You're mine. Start up.
I'll be saving you.
How about this?
Lightning condemned. Thunderblade.
Flame inside me. Yours to be let free. Burn in hell.
Make it rain.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Illuminate the dark.
Look sharp.
Ready and raring.
Hurricane water. Hear my call.
This one's mine.
Destruction.
That'll bring you down.
I can carve through armor.
Here goes.
Destruction.
Water. Hear my call. Glacial fire.
Tempest spread. Celestial hammer.
I can
The
handle
enemy
it.
is going all out.
Here's a healing art.
First aid. What would I do without you?
Glacial
Prepare to be
Dance in
seized.
the wind. Going now. I'll be saving this one.
The flame inside me. Yours to be let free.
By the power of water.
Burn in hell.
Flaming meteor.
Downfall.
Destruction.
Lightning orb.
Vamos, 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 28k.
The enemy's on the ropes. We've got him where we want him. It's time to end this battle.
Take this. Try harder.
It's go time. Armor won't
Save you.
Thunderblade. Illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy healing circle.
Crush. Destruction.
What would I do without you? Gemini Aqua. Tempest Whirl. Never come through. Mega Ray.
Take this.
Raging Cascade.
This one's mine. Will this help?
Vamos, 9k.
Glacial Fire. Arctic.
Where are you going?
Freeze Lancer. Dance in the wind.
Let me have
Here.
one.
First aid.
Far enough.
I'll be saving this one.
You picked the wrong fight.
Searing Blast.
Piercing wall.
Crossblade. Hear me. Flame of Fury. Burning Strike.
Water. Hear my call.
Raging Storm.
Glacial spear.
Raging
Too much.
Will this help?
Now.
Totally. In an instant. Impact rock.
I feel the power flowing through me.
You'll be able to help even more people now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I will.
I
Vestido de
found some
novia.
equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
Viene el horno, 6 jefes, tengo que matar. 6 jefes. Ah, bueno, bien. Era uno solo nada más. Entonces, para. No voy a matar a los 6 jefes. Está bien, uno, listo. Que ni siquiera eso tendría que haber sido. El juego tendría que haber terminado ya hace... Ya. Hace bastante. Ya puedes volver, ¿no? Sí.
A dead end, huh?
Why don't we just use this?
Wait!
Jeez! Don't scare me like that! What, is there something wrong with it?
No, it's not that. It's just... this is it. Whatever it is, we're about to find out.
It's the moment of truth. There's no turning back now till we've won. Either we get through this, or we vanish along with the rest of the world as we know it. Is everyone ready?
We've come this far. I'm not about to turn tail now. I say we knock this thing out and head back home.
It's time to relegate the past to where it belongs. It's been a long journey getting here, but it ends now.
No. This isn't the end. Once we've overthrown the old order, there's still the task of creating a new world.
A world without divisions, where no one cares whether you're Danon or Renan, or if you have magic or not. You're right. We have to win this.
Let's get going then. After all, our future awaits.
Our future. One free of tyranny and exploitation. For the freedom to live with those we hold dear. And for a new era. Let's go!
Bueno, voy a intentar. Como siempre digo, voy a intentar. Seguramente acá aparece un montón de jefes, una cosa rara va a aparecer. Si no puedo matar. No lo puedo matar. Tendré que subir un poco de nivel y nada. Dejaremos el final para más adelante. Ya vamos 2 horas y 20 de video, no sé si lo voy a cortar.
Hold on. Are we on that giant flower?
We're finally here then.
But then, where is the core of the Great Spirit? Or the Renaissance, for that matter?
According to Hevrek 35, this should be where we find the core.
Rinwell, do you sense anything?
This is definitely where the energy of the Great Spirit is strongest, but what's giving off the most energy is the flower we're standing on.
That said, we're not gonna be able to destroy something this huge. You want me to hit it and see what happens?
Hey, look!
The Renaissance!
Is that like Dana's astral energy? But why?
What?
Stay sharp! Something's coming!
What is this?
It wants us gone. It has so much anger. All of its fear has evolved into hatred.
So then, you're saying that this is the Great Spirit's core?
And in order to fight us, it's taken on this form?
My thorns. I feel them whirling inside me. They're getting restless. I'm certain of it. This is the source of my thorns, and of my visions. This is the darkness that will consume all existence.
What do we do now? The Renaissance inside that thing, and I don't think we'll win this fight without it.
We have to get it back. We will find a way somehow.
Agreed. And now that it has a physical form, cutting through it's what we'll do.
Great Spirit, I understand you want to live. You've made that very clear. However, if you're planning on destroying everything, then first, you'll have to get through us. Everyone, let's go!
58. Intenté. Algo intenta.
And we're not puppets for you to control.
Only humankind has a right to determine their own future. We will never let something like you take that away from us.
I'm sorry, but we won't let you take any more away from us. We'll do whatever it takes to stop you.
I fight to quell the sounds of anguish
200k de vida tiene.
that it may be filled with joy and peace once again.
Give it back. Give it all back. Give us back our world and give me back my own life.
Once and for all, we're going to end centuries of terror and death. Right here, right now.
Grind and rend. Purge the leveling. That'll bring you down.
Ve que tiene buena defensa,
By the power of water.
Now we're never.
Going in. Here's a healing art. This one's mine. Get the wind. There you go.
Now you see what I can do.
No further.
I'll be leading this one. Raging cascade.
You're mine! No escape!
Art requires complete focus. Need to pull myself together. This one is mine.
Ringo la está comiendo.
Illuminate the dark. Come forth. This one is mine. The enemy is going all out. Will this help?
A ver, sacamos los primeros 50k.
To be let free!
Guardian field. Healing circle. Outstanding form. Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah. You too.
Now we're not.
In a bind.
I owe you one for that.
Here goes.
Win!
Hit.
Nothing gets by me.
Not on my watch.
Let's keep up the pressure.
Illuminate
Now
the
you
dark.
see what I can do.
Healing circle.
Down. You're on. I owe you one for that. On guard.
Illuminate the dark. I'll heal you all.
Eat dirt!
Healing circle.
Oh,
And just like that, I'm back in it. Start by holding the front line. No sooner said than done. Look sharp.
Is this it?
ay, me mató.
Not done yet!
Time to strike. Shining supernova.
Flaming meteor.
Take this!
Ready now.
Vamos, a ver, sacamos la mitad.
Consider yourself finished!
The enemy is going all out.
Ya se puso en modo loquito, ¿no?
Hurricane strike. Look sharp.
Now you see what I can do.
Somebody win. Blaze on. You got company.
My head.
Take this. What in the world is this round thing?
That attack. Is this a Lord's handiwork?
I'm past being surprised.
I say we destroy it, and quick!
No!
Not like this!
Stay away from my
Leave the
friend!
enemy's art to me!
Bring you this one!
Mine!
No complaints here!
Aiming this way!
I'm
Here's
ready
a
to
healing
go!
art! First aid! Raging sword!
Take this!
This one's mine!
Good shot!
Severing wing!
This one's mine!
Armor won't save you!
Is this it?
Healing circle!
Try harder!
Thanks, Shion.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Right.
Arctic waterfall! Freeze! Hold on to your art. Here I come! Hurricane strike! Going in! Supernova!
In a bind?
In here!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alvin. Very bad.
No sé quién me pega,
Feels so good.
Gemini Aqua! The field! Or for the sun.
Here, let me help.
Hurricane first aid!
Now I can let loose.
All right, it's showtime!
Se puso difícil el tema, ¿eh? No puedo acercar. Creo que me dispara y no tengo la menor idea qué es.
Ignite! It's too much!
Thank you for all your help.
Please, don't mention it.
I'm glad to know someone's got my back.
I never miss! Freeze Lancer! On guard! Go hit! Lightning! Downfall!
Wind!
Glacial fire!
Stardust!
Hurricane strike! Radiant here!
Destruction!
Shield and mace!
Lightning meteor!
Take this!
Raging
Bajo 27k, ¿eh?
Here's a healing art!
It's go time!
First aid! Switch to offense! Thunder field!
This one's all mine!
Hurricane strike!
I'm gonna need more.
Let's hold it together!
Try hard. You'll pay for that!
I'm ready!
Denied!
Hurricane strike!
Destruction!
Here's a
5,
healing art!
4,
Radiant here! I'm out of raging cascade! I'm all stopped up! Now! This ends now!
uy, se puso, ¿eh?
After all that, it's still standing. Just how strong is this thing?
It doesn't matter. Just have to keep kicking its ass until it bites the dust.
The Great Spirits!
Damn. Must have been conserving its energy for an escape.
That bastard took off with the Renaissance!
We can't stand here and wait for it to come back. We'll have to follow it through there.
You're right. I don't like it, but we've got no choice.
Yeah. No matter what, we can't let it get away.
All right. Let's go.
I'm surprised we can stand here at all. What in the hell is this place?
Beats me. I've never seen anything like it. More importantly, where's the Great Spirit?
Look! Over there!
Ay, tiene alitas ahora. Siempre tuvo alitas.
World. It's changing shape?
Oh, this is bad. It looks like it's regaining all of its energy. It's going to grow even bigger than before.
Damn it. Come on. We've got to find a way to...
Watch out! Something's heading our way!
Guess they're here to try to stop us. There's so many of them.
That means we've got it running scared. Let's take these out and keep moving!
Qué relleno, qué relleno.
Out of our way
La verdad.
already!
Es una pena porque el juego venía re bien.
From the supreme being.
You can't assume we're fighting
Venía
something
re bien el
just
juego.
like a human!
Whatever it is, it's wasting time that we don't have.
Yeah, not only that, but that thing is getting bigger by the minute.
It's starting to slow down the more it grows. We should be able to catch up soon enough.
We just need to hold on. Stay strong, everyone, and stand your ground.
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Oh, don't get in
Just
my
as
way!
well, I'm here to stop.
It's all mine. Burn in hell!
Thunder field! Here's a healing
Destruction!
Raging cascade!
Destruction!
Armor won't save you.
Raging cascade!
Can't get out of this.
Going in.
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Hurricane Strike! Steel Shot! Water! Hear my call! Field!
Shield and make!
Florida!
Severing wind!
Hurricane Strike! Let them mark them!
This one's mine.
Take that! Purge Malevolent! Blah, blah, blah!
This one's all mine.
Flame of Fury! Street Lancer!
This one's mine.
Glacial Spear! Here's evil! Look sharp! Raging Cascade! Spread!
It's on guard. In a bind.
Lunar
Severing wind.
Strike!
Shattering ball.
Illuminate the
Pieces.
dark!
Attack
Come
line.
forth! Holy Quiver! I'll heal you all! Purge Malevolent! Arc Healing
Here's
Flame!
Raw.
Free Flame! Dance in the wind!
I owe you one.
Here goes! Confiscated! Damn it!
Burn!
Purge Malevolent! Arctic Waterfall! Hurricane Strike! Field!
Going in.
Run for the stockpile! Watch and one-time flash!
Glacial fire. Tiger blade.
I don't even know the word defeat.
You're mine! I'm not prepared to be sealed!
On guard.
No further!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Lightning!
Here goes. Leave the charge to me.
Here's the healing arc!
Denied.
First aid!
Time to stop. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire.
Shattering the pieces.
Hurricane strike.
More with that
This one's mine.
Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
This
Holy
one's
Quiver!
mine.
Holy Wind!
Hurricane strike.
Burn!
Going in. Here I go.
Got astral energy!
Severing wind!
Condemned! Reload! Out of ammo! Illuminate Here's a healing arc! Come forth! First aid! Holy Land!
On guard.
I'm not done!
Hurricane strike!
throbs in
Another
pain.
one!
Now you've gone and ticked me off.
Try harder!
Here's the healing arc. Flag assault.
Here I come.
Thanks, Shield. Do it.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone. Here I go.
Not a chance!
Here goes! Into the shadows!
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare the Malisa.
If it's in the
Shield
sky,
and
it's
meteor.
mine!
Severing wind!
Meteor.
This one's mine! Lightning condemned! Thunder blade! Illuminate the sky! Burning
Water.
All mine!
Spread!
Here I come!
Flame of fury!
You picked the wrong fight!
Fire. Burning.
Wind!
Tiger blade.
Stardust!
Lightning orb! Dance in the wind! Not in your dreams!
I can carve through armor.
On guard.
Lightning
Can't
condemned!
get out of this.
Hurricane strike! Illuminate the
This
sky!
one's
Here's the
mine.
door! Holy Quiver! Holy Land!
You're mine!
On guard.
Severing wind!
Here.
Stardust!
Lunar arc.
First aid!
This one's all mine! You're finished!
This one's
Not
mine.
today!
Air thrust! Lunar Calypso! Astral Raging Cascade! Power of water! Glacial
Take this.
fire! By the power of
Tiger blade without a trace.
I'll heal the wind! Thunder field!
On guard.
Wind!
I don't have much left. Appreciate the help.
I'll smash you.
Lunar blast!
Hurricane
I
strike.
save myself together! Illuminate
Glacial
the
spear.
Here's evil!
Strike!
Holy Land!
Hurricane
Flame
strike.
blade!
This one's
Dance in the wind! bring you down. Feel now. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Brace yourselves! We're going to crash!
We caught up to it.
Hold on. Why did it stop absorbing the energy from Dana?
Like it or not, it lacks the means to do so whilst fighting us. We've become the bigger threat and forced its hand.
All right then. Let's get to work so we can take back the Renaissance.
No tengo PC, ¿eh? Lo primero que voy a hacer es recuperar PC. 61 encima. Está re duro, ¿eh?
This madness ends.
Espera. Objetos...
Right here, right now. And this time, we really mean it.
We've all come so far. We've faced so much. We can get through this. Together.
Naturally.
Sí, a mí, ¿no?
We are all leaving this fight alive.
Hell, I'm just getting warmed up. You ain't seen nothing yet.
The Great Spirit's getting desperate. So stay on your toes, everyone.
Now you see what I can do.
Power's overwhelming.
Then let's whittle down that thing's power. Don't!
Right. Let's start with the arms.
Let's do this, Law.
Leave it to me.
Everyone, I'm counting on you.
Piercing roar!
Tiene 230, ¿eh?
Destruction!
Burning strike! Glacial spear! Lightning condemned! I never miss! Thunder blade!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free. Burn!
Shattering pieces!
Look here!
Armor won't save you! In a bind?
This one's mine!
Here I go!
Burn up!
Here goes!
This one's mine!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Lunar corruption!
Glacial fire!
Astral energy!
Start up!
By the power of flame! Vanished without a trace! Astral energy!
This one's all mine!
Thunder shield! Dance in the wind!
Try harder!
Sleep now. I'll be saving this
Here
one.
goes.
Lost.
You and me!
From here on out.
Vamos. Le dolió, ¿eh? Le dolió la cola, ¿eh?
Yeah! Burn in hell!
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Take this!
Amazing. All that astral energy.
I don't like the look of this.
We have to stop it! It's fast!
In a bind?
Glacial fire. I never miss. Sleep now.
Okay!
More for the corruption.
Going in!
Severing wind!
Can't be
Start up!
More with that.
Uy.
Oh,
It's on!
here! Let me go!
Like astral energy.
Everyone okay?
Still alive somehow, if that's the case.
Here, let me heal you.
Close one. I'll heal you all. Here comes.
I let my guard down.
Healing
You paid for that!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Just what I here's a healing art. More with that camera.
I owe you one for that.
Ignite!
Take this!
Rage into the shadows.
Severing wind!
Now you see what I can do!
Sleep now.
No further!
I'll be saving this one. Confiscated! Lightning meteor! Thunder field! Burning! This one laser spear! Here's the evil! Hurricane strike! Freeze! Primed and ready! Illuminate the dark! That'll bring you down! Holy glimmer! Going in! I'll heal you! Illuminate the dark! Holy glimmer!
No more dithering.
Our future begins here.
Ahora hay que darle en la boca, hay que darle.
Always impressive.
Ah, en el estómago.
Now all that's left is the middle.
Let's do it!
You picked the wrong fight.
I'm all stopped up! Energy! Lightning destruction! Thunder flame! Illuminate the dark without a turbo! Holy glimmer! Holy
I
land!
can carve through armor. Take this.
This one's mine!
Con 109k, 108k.
Flame of
I'm not
fury!
done.
Uy,
Try harder.
Switch to offense!
Try harder.
Hang fight! Will this help? Here's
Try
the healing
harder.
arc! Wind astral energy!
Try harder.
I'll heal you all! Lightning to death! Thunder! Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy land! Going in!
Severing wind.
Shield array!
You may be strong, but I'll never back down. Stay away from my friend.
Confiscated! I'm on a roll! I'll bring you back from death's abyss! Gale force! Dance in the wind!
It's on.
Air thrust! Train harder!
Ignite.
Hurricane strike!
uy, está duro, ¿eh?
Illuminate the dark! Holy land!
Severing wind. Stardust.
Hurricane strike! Sweet dreams!
In a bind.
Going in! Where are you going? This is it!
Me mata, me mata.
Lightning death! Water, hear my call! Light astral energy! I'll bring you back! Train harder! Tempest swirl! Resuscitation! I'll heal you all! Light astral, not on my watch! Healing sharpness! Seal!
You picked the wrong fight.
I'm
not done.
Tempest swirl!
Far enough. Armor won't save you.
60k le quedan, ¿eh? Los últimos 60k.
This one's mine!
You're mine.
Here I This one's mine! Air thrust!
Algo va a pasar, ¿eh? El agujero negro. El agujero negro.
This one's mine! Light astral energy! Same guy! Mine! This one's mine! Who wants to die next?
Take this.
Lightning one's mine!
What I can do.
Photon dance in the wind! Hurricane circle!
Burn.
Air thrust!
Appreciate the help.
Light astral energy!
Take
I'm on a
this.
roll!
Stardust.
There! Wind astral energy!
No further.
Dance in the wind!
All in order.
Sweet now!
22k, ¿eh?
Without a purpose to stop me!
Se está preparando de vuelta. A ver. Vamos.
There.
Explosion!
An astral arch.
That's my cue!
Try harder. Shut him down.
Illuminate the field! By the power of flame!
Severing wind.
Confiscated!
Stardust. Burn. Stardust.
Let me help!
Showtime.
Great
I'll smash you.
Celestial
Shield.
hammer! This is it!
This ends now.
Alphen!
Yeah! We're both fine. We're going to start the ceremony now, before it can recover. Shion.
Yeah.
Qué molesto el loco este,
Just as I told you I would.
Yo sé que hay que darle un cierre, porque era obvio que iba a quedar vivo. Pero...
Shion! Absorbing the Great Spirit!
Apologies. I can't suppress it for very long.
Hand it over right now. You plan to use this to defeat the Great Spirit. Which is precisely why I'm here. Stand aside and watch. So then you know how to destroy the Great Spirit. Just as well as you and your sorry lot. The Great Spirit that tried to control me will be annihilated. I won't let you do that! Yet do it I shall. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. You bastard! I shall fulfill my duty as a ruler. With this power, I'll bury that woman and the Great Spirit. Then this charade will finally end. Save everyone. And Shion!
61. Va a estar feo.
I'll tear you apart, slay the girl and the Great Spirit, and erect a fortress of death over both worlds. What do you get from it? When you have all that power, what will you do? My dominion shall reign over all existence.
Le pego por 200, le tengo que sacar 71k de vida. Bueno, vemos qué pasa.
Even the other lords, even the Great Spirit had a future in mind. But you have nothing, only death. So what? It matters little to me. You are pathetic. Truly pathetic. And you're not. You are a failure. Empty. A sovereign who couldn't even die in his own time as he was meant to. You're right. I used to wonder why I was still alive after so long. But there are things in this world, in the here and now, that are worth protecting. That's why I'm still here. And I won't let you take them away! I shall erase everything! I'll destroy you! All shall bow before me! Accept your fate! Burn in hell! Here I come! Slash! Swallow blade! It's over! Swallow The fury of lightning.
Ole, guacho.
Out of my sight. This one's all mine. The fury of lightning. You picked the wrong fight. Here I come. Slash. Swallow blade. Strike. Slash. Swallow. Blade. There. Flee. Enough of your foolishness. You picked the wrong fight. Take this. Swallow blade. I'm not done. Slash. Swallow blade. You will beg me for mercy.
Me enojó,
I shall erase everything. I'll destroy it all. All shall bow before me. Not today. Your fate. Die. You will know nothing but agony. The fury of lightning. Enough the flame inside me yearns to be let free. Burn! Sovereign, you are nothing! Slash! Swallow. You control others to keep from being controlled, but that's a path of never-ending hatred. Don't you understand? It can only end in destruction. The only way to avoid it is with forgiveness! The words of a coward. The weakness disgusts me. You're wrong. It takes true power to forgive! I have no use for forgiveness. The strong shall always triumph here. You say that because you've been alone so long. If you had someone, anyone to turn to, a single friend, someone to love, people who would support and guide you, you can't have been alone your whole life. All I remember is the lashes of whips. Each strike spreading a skein of fire across my back. The masters who killed slaves for sport. And the slaves who sacrificed their compatriots that they might live. There is no love, no friendship, not there or anywhere else. Is there no way for you to see this differently? Enough! You gamble the fate of this world to save a single life, and yet I am the evil one? How utterly ridiculous. It's true. Maybe
Ay, no me puedo curar.
me to want to save her, but I swore that I would.
Ya se me bugueó. No me puedo curar.
No one else be sacrificed in this battle. I can't bear to see her die. You and I are so much more
No puedo
alike
curar.
than I had ever
Se
imagined.
me bugueó.
No, we're not. I want a world built on kindness, on giving, on warmth. You take and destroy. I'm nothing like you. I approve of it. All others shall be banished.
Oh, se me bugueó.
Try harder. Try harder. The blazing sword, with the power Shion has bestowed upon me. I'll take you down. This isn't looking good.
Se me bugueó.
I have no limit. Enough of your foolishness. Try this. Rending flash. It's over. You are the last obstacle impeding my progress. Die! That's my line! I'll show you the limits of your solitude!
Ah, pensé que se me había bugueado, que no podía curarme. Decime que este es el final, por favor, te lo pido.
you've done is evil. There's no denying that. I know you didn't walk your path out of weakness, but merely from misguided strength. Misguided because you were alone. Because you had no friends to keep you on the straight and narrow. No one to use all that strength for, other than yourself. That loneliness could make a monster out of anyone. Out of me. I understand. And I forgive you, Volrun. I don't need your victor's pity. And you can choke on your vain forgiveness. Don't! You wish to save this world? To make your selfish dreams into reality? If you choose to walk that path, you choose a path of betrayal, despair, and corruption. And in the darkness at the end, I'll be waiting for you! Volrun! I'm sorry. The Renaissance is...
Yes. But you still possess the blazing sword. It may not be quite as strong as the Renaissance, but nonetheless...
I can't. I would never. It would kill you!
My thorns, they're... Soon the great astral spirit will break free. And when that happens, no one will be spared. But there's still time. You can still destroy the thorns. And me with them.
But that's exactly what we've been fighting to prevent. I promised I would find a way to save you.
You did. I know. But I don't want you to die either. So please, don't let me be the end of the world.
That's it. Look! The path Dana's energy flowed through is still open. We can use it to call out to Dana's will!
Alphen, what are you saying?
Don't you remember? Rinwell said there was a little bit of Dana's will inside all of us. If there is a way everyone can come together to form Dana's will, then maybe we can ask for it to help us, to find us a way out of this.
Are you really saying that if all of Dana thinks of saving us, it will become the will of the planet itself? That's madness.
Maybe so, but it's the only way we can save you. And the only way to save Rena, too.
To save Rena?
That's right. Rena's will never had evil intent. If we're saving everyone, that includes them. I don't want to live in a world without you, Xion. And I'm tired of living a life built on death.
Alphen, I'm with you.
protective will of Dana hear my plea? I want to save Xion! And I want to save Rena too! I want to end this cycle of one joy, constantly being sacrificed for another's pain! So please, grant us your strength!
Sí. Lo esperado por toda Latinoamérica unida. El beso. Por fin, loco.
Let's go.
Pobre gente, siempre digo lo mismo. Pobre gente que se rompe el culo haciendo el juego. Que va a haber un montón de personas, pero lo vamos a omitir. El juego guardará los datos de progreso del final. Cuando cargues el archivo, se desbloqueará una misión nueva en la que esperan más aventuras y encuentros. El punto de guardado de estos datos está justo antes de la batalla final. También desbloqueaste el modo partida nuevo New Game Plus. En la pantalla de título, este te permite transferir los datos de progreso del final a una partida nueva. Bueno. Terminamos el juego. Terminamos. Ya está, nueva partida más. Y si cargamos desde acá. A ver. Imagino que puedes volver, subir de nivel, qué sé yo. Puede ser.
This place is rather gloomy.
Why don't you lighten the mood for us while we're
Claro, puedes
here?
volver, ¿ves?
I'll see what I can do.
Así que, bueno, nada. ¿Qué nivel estoy encima? 47. Bueno. Nada, loco. La historia está muy buena, está muy buena. No me gustó las últimas 4 o 5 horas de juego, no me gustaron para nada. Mucho diálogo, que lo podían haber dividido en todo el juego. Entonces te evitaba 5 horas de diálogo, de película. De diálogo más que nada, ¿no? Porque juego que tenían animaciones. Eh, la última parte muy de relleno, ¿sí? Nada, te encontrabas con enemigos que te los clavaban justo en una puerta para que vos tengas que pelear. Obviamente son 5 minutos, 5 minutos, 5 minutos por cada uno. Algunos no podías, traté de esquivar lo más que pude, algunos no podía, 5 minutos, 5 minutos. Todo se te va alargando el juego, entonces es un juego de 60 a 70 horas, eh, con mucho contenido de relleno. Pero nada, el juego está bueno. Si el video te gustó, dale like, compartí, suscribite, haz todo eso, te mando un saludo y nos vemos. Chau, chau.